age. I mean, she is the right age. She looks the part. I think, what do you think of Ariana as the Bachelorette?
Yeah, I think that's actually a pretty good idea. I don't know if we could afford her, if I'm being honest, because I imagine she knows her worth right now, and that would probably be pretty expensive to do. I mean, we, for the most part, cast with inside the Bachelor family, but we've done it before. We've had bachelors before that weren't from the show. Like Matt James, good example of that. So yeah, I'm all for it. I think that would be great.
Do you like the idea of like, casting, like I'm sure names come up, like casting just, well-known people, we're not going to cast like, some major A-lister. I can't even think of who, but like a reality star or someone like along those lines. Do you like that idea, or do you like it within the franchise?
Well, I think that it would probably be great for ratings. But every kind of reality show makes their show a little bit different. And so I often wonder if you were to cast, like, let's say a Kardashian, which I think that was that conversation years ago, but it wasn't really real. But the Kardashians work on that show much differently than we create Bachelor or Bachelorette or Bachelor in Paradise. And so I think that would be a hard learning curve. Whereas when you like, let's say you go on The Bachelor as one of the female cast members, kind of like learn how the machine works and like how the show is created. And then when they cast you as the Bachelorette, you kind of know like the moving pieces, and it becomes seamless and easy. Because at the end of the day, you have to film so much television to get all of that, get the entire season. And we film primarily just reality. And I say that by being like, okay, the times that we don't film reality, or like a rose ceremony is not reality, because that's not a normal thing. Like, making people stand up there and like accept roses is not a normal part of reality. But going on a date is a very normal part of reality. And so we just film like I do feel like the Kardashians, or like Jersey Shore, to be like, today we're gonna all go horseback riding. Well, that wouldn't be a normal thing for the Jersey Shore people to go do. And it's also like, and we all know that Snooki hates horses, and so there's like a little bit of like a plan. Whereas on our shows, it's like, you kind of would probably go on this date. You probably wouldn't be able to afford the helicopter, but like, just go live in this world and let's see what happens. And there is no kind of like, we're driving towards Snooki falling off the horse or freaking out or something, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it's like situational, like they slightly scripted of like, today, this is what we're going to do. This is our activity.
Yeah.
There was a talk years ago about about one of the Kardashians being on the franchise.
Sorry, I took a drink of water.
It's okay.
I had heard that, but then I remember like immediately whatever Kardashian was like, that's never happening. Like, also like contractually we can't, because we're on E, and that's not the same thing as ABC. And like, come on, let's be realistic. But I remember people like wanting it. Like, I don't know, it was after like someone broke up with somebody, and everyone was like, they need to be the Bachelor. This needs to happen immediately. But it never did.
I wonder who it was. I mean, there's so many breaking up at all times.
I know.
That would be, I mean, and you talk about, you're not sure. I think you could afford Ariana. I'm not sure you could afford any of the Kardashians in Bachelor Nation.
And I don't know if we could get like enough basketball players to come on as cast members, because they do like their basketball players over there.
Although Kendall is apparently dating Timothée Chalamet these days.
I know, which I feel like, I mean, she is a big star, but like, I feel like that's a good get,
I think it's like a win-win for everybody. Yeah. I mean, I am so jaded in the business. I don't know where you are along the spectrum, but I'm just like, between that and like Kendall and Bad Bunny, I'm like, what is really happening here, or what is here for publicity and like agents and managers and Kris Jenner? And I mean, no offense and no shade, but I just wonder, because I just can't see some of this.
Yeah, I'm kind of shocked by it, because Timothée needs no help in anything. Like, he is the it guy right now. And I don't know if any of the Kardashians need anything at this point. So I feel like this is probably a real thing. And yeah, they're like an it couple. So I guess good for you guys.
I love it. Well, the Bachelorette is back June 26th. We have Jesse Palmer hosting. He hosted, the last season of The Bachelor. Like, how do you feel about Jesse it seems like he is the new host of the franchise.
Yeah, I think, yeah, absolutely. He's great. Like I've only done one season with him of Paradise, but he is such a sweet guy. I feel bad for him in Mexico because he sweats a lot and that place is very hot. So it's a lot of undershirts and changing of shirts for him. But he's great. He's got that like kind of Rain Man quarterback mind where like you can give him a couple, give him like a lot of lines to say, and like he doesn't need a teleprompter. He can like spit it out like he's like in the huddle again, like yelling out some crazy long play. So he's great. Like hits your mark, red light goes on, kills it, one take wonder, and then he's out of there. So yeah, I think he's doing a great job. He's obviously was the Bachelor, so it makes sense for him to kind of, go into that role. So yeah.
I used to live in the same building as him in New York, and he was like the nicest guy. And
yeah,
that's interesting about the lines.
Yeah, he's like, I'm good on camera, but like I would love a teleprompter. I can do that all day long. But yeah, he's a one take wonder.
Do you know like who else was in the mix for this job? Like, were you yourself in the mix? You are a master of ceremonies.
Yeah, I had the conversations with like the pretty high ups. And at the end of the day, they went with Jesse, and he's so very good at this and just good at hosting in general, which like, so I totally understood. He also was the Bachelor. So that's something that I never was. So it's hard for me to kind of empathize with the leads of those shows. He would be much better at those things. But yeah, I had those conversations and it didn't go my way.
Do you, like we're all in the business, like, how are you in the business? Like when things don't, you don't get something, are you just on to the next? Are you ever like, well, that's the one that got away? Like, where do you fall on the spectrum?
You just never know what's going to hit and what isn't. I think it's healthy to like be upset or angry for like a day or two, and then you just got to let it go. It's fine. For me also, some of the best opportunities I've gotten have come because other opportunities weren't available or didn't pan out the way I wanted. And you always have to keep that in mind, just in all whether you work in the entertainment industry or any other industry. Like sometimes the thing that you think you want is not the thing that you need. And that keeps you sane a little bit.
I think so. I think that's good advice.
Yeah.
What about, there has been some controversy like over